guys, Mark Scuderi, Take Flight Coach. This is a special quarantine edition, and I have two amazing guests that I asked to come on, and I'm very, very grateful that they agreed. Number one is Mary Malone. She's an agent with Coldwell Bankers, somebody I've watched in my marketplace for a couple of years. Just an amazing producer, solopreneur, I like to call it, out there getting it done every day. A mom with 4 kids, 4 boys, very, very busy. So Mary, say hi and tell the listeners about yourself.
Hi, I'm Mary Malone with Coldwell Banker Realty. I have been in real estate for about 15 years. Originally a Hunterdon County resident, and I actually moved from California back out here when my children started school. As Mark had mentioned, yes, I'm the mother of 4 boys, 4 very active, very hungry children. One's in college. I have one in high school, one in 8th grade, and one in 5th grade as well. And I really appreciate Mark inviting me to join him today.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So next is Freddy Rodriguez. Freddy is an entrepreneur, a Marine, a fireman in the city of Houston, Texas. I met Freddy about 3 years ago at the very first Motto Mortgage broker owner training. So Freddy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Freddy Rodriguez. As Mark mentioned, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years in the infantry, fire department for 10 years, got into real estate while I was in the fire department, going to school full time, and in the reserves. I've been in real estate since 2003, got my broker's license in 2007, opened up my own shop, and then joined Remax in 2014. And as Mark said, joined Motto about 3 years ago. And anyway, I really enjoy helping people, and I really want other people to learn from my mistakes so that they don't make the same mistakes, and learn lessons that I've learned from other people that I can pass on to them. So appreciate you guys listening on this.
Oh, awesome, Freddie. And I guess, we hit it off. We had a lot in common. You're a full-time fireman, and I was a full-time police officer as I built my business and my sales team and the brokerage, and kind of doing double duty, putting 18, 20-hour days in almost every single day. So I think that's one of the main reasons we hit it off.
Yeah.
What's going on in the market today, Freddie? And obviously there's a lot of panic. There's the unknown. We're worried about, and I thought about you when we got our quarantine order in New Jersey to kind of stay home. And obviously we're not showing homes. Sellers don't want people into their homes, and I don't blame them. And there's a lot of anxiousness now between agents. And I thought of you immediately because, having gotten to know you over the last couple of years, you went through a pretty significant event, the hurricane in Houston.
Right.
And, we're nervous because we have a temporary delay in our business. We're kind of put on pause. But from what I understand, your listings and inventory was just completely destroyed to never come back. So those deals were gone forever. And I was wondering if you could kind of shed a little light on that for our viewers here.
Well, yeah, it definitely had a major impact on the real estate business, and everything just stopped. Like, at least now with the coronavirus, I mean, we still have inventory moving and things like that. People are still showing, but they're, taking safety precautions when they're doing that, and all that other stuff. But with the hurricane, everything just stopped, and it stopped for like a good 2 weeks, and it took like several months to just get back in the groove of things. So when all these listings just were destroyed, people were then scrambling. All those people that are looking at buying homes and people that were trying to sell homes, well, think about it. They have to have a place to live. So then leases became very, very popular, and places that were on the market forever for lease, all of a sudden all got snatched up. So, then you got to look ahead of the curve. So if you see all these listings that pop in a certain area for homes that leased during a certain period of time, well, then typically it's going to be about a year lease for the most part. So now you know who's living in these homes, so you can start marketing those people to start planting seeds for the future when the market does turn around, to help them buy homes. So you just had to adjust. A lot of people were freaking out, like they're freaking out now. But the number one advice I could give anyone during a time of turmoil and a major challenge like that is, top priority is you have to take control of your mind. things are going to happen, circumstances are going to happen, but you have two choices. You can either respond and you'll be in control, but if you react, you're going to lose control and you're going to lose your stuff. Okay, so you got to take control of it, relax, things are going to happen, shit's going to happen, but then you got to adjust and you got to improvise and you got to figure out different ways to keep your income and business flowing. So I don't know if that helps at all.
No, it definitely does, and it kind of puts into perspective the challenges you face versus what the challenges we're facing right now too. So that really gets me to the next point of kind of social distancing your mind. And as I mentioned, in our pre-call before we went live on the video, that I completely shut my Facebook off for the last 2 weeks, at least the news feed. I'm monitoring the groups, monitoring, New Jersey realtors, things along those lines. But as far as scrolling the news feed, I shut that off. Freddie, you've done that for a couple of, at least 5 months now. You mentioned that's really helped your mind. But Mary, I want to go to you and ask, what are you doing to stay focused and to social distance your mind from a lot of not just bad information out there, but there's a lot of misinformation that's just simply not correct. And what is it that you're doing to stay focused at this time?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, my joke, I think 4 days ago was, hey, I want to turn on the news and I wonder what's new today. So I'm not even turning on the news in the morning. And of course, with the children, all my, bad jokes with, as a mom, but I'll say, hey guys, is there a good college basketball game on today? And they look at me like, Mom, I'm not turning on the news. And I do enjoy the news, but I'm not turning it on. Facebook, actually, for years, I started unfollowing specific groups or just posts that I thought would upset me that I don't need to follow anymore. So I've been doing that for quite a long time now. I follow NPR, New Jersey Real Estate Association, Hunterdon County realtors. So I do follow specific groups, but in my news feed, it's really only informational, something that I would like to read every day. So I've been doing that for quite some time. And I really have been staying away from television. I like my Netflix. At the end of the day, I feel like that is my reward. I'll turn on Netflix or Amazon Prime, but besides that, the TV is off.
Oh, awesome. And, I found an old video of mine as I'm kind of re-engaging in videos from about 4 or 5 years ago that instructed my agents how to create friends lists on their Facebook. And it has to be done from the computer, not your mobile phone. But the friends list I still have. I have my number ones, I have my family, then I have one called significant people. And when I click on the significant people, I'm just watching people like yourselves that I know are going to provide good value and instead of just scrolling that news feed mindlessly. So that's really a really, really good tip. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, since we are kind of quarantined and people are sitting back and we don't want to waste this time, how about your business plan? I mean, we're still just ending the first quarter of the year. Freddie, do you recommend revisiting the business plan and not reevaluating and certainly not readjusting your goals unless you want to adjust them a little bit bigger. But what do you recommend as far as revisiting your business plan for the while we're sitting here home quarantined?
Okay, if you leave this meeting with anything that I say today, please take this one piece of advice. Listen to the Darren Daily, that series that he has this week. Listen to it every day. But this week is a particular example. It's about spring cleaning your life and your business. And within that answers your question mark about the business plan. It's not just about the business plan. Somebody can have a beautiful business plan, nice and pretty and bind it, and it's like, oh man, this is perfect. But then are you going to do what you said you're going to do in these business plans? And that's the problem, is we are not executing what we said we were going to do because we're in a world of distraction. Going back to the news, social media, it's like, we're bombarded with all kinds of crap that we're allowing to enter into our brain, and it's polluting our mind, and it's giving us those same results. So all I can say is if you're not a member of the Darren Daily, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it costs you your time. As we all know, time is valuable, right? So you got to invest in yourself and invest in your mind. Your number one asset is this. But when you do that, you will get things out of it. And I'm not just talking out of my butt. All right. Look, I take notes on every single day of the Darren Daily. I'm a serious student, and this stuff it doesn't cost anything but your time. But there's so much gold on the messages that this guy gives every day. And I used to just be like, oh yeah, that's good information. I go back to doing the same old crap that I was doing before, not applying anything. But now that I'm actually taking notes and writing things down, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. I got the lesson. Let me put this stuff into action. And trust me, I am getting a significant return on my investment of my time to getting better every day. So I hope that answers your question. If you're not a part of the Darren Daily, I suggest you sign up for it. And if you don't, you're only going to hurt yourself. But hey, that's cool. That's on you. It's choice time. You can do it or not do it. But I guarantee that you will get significantly a lot of positive information that will help you in your life and your business.
And you're talking about Darren Hardy, for those who don't know the Darren Daily, so you can Google Darren Hardy.
On that note, one more thing. The insane productivity, it's usually $2,000. I pay $2,000 for it. I've already made 100 times the return that I paid for that. But right now, Darren's got a special for $1,000. So are you willing to invest, not spend? Are you willing to invest $1,000 in your own personal development? So like you, Mary, you're number 3. Well, I'm sure you want to be number 1. Okay, well, maybe there's one thing you can get from this program for $1,000 that will help you make $100,000 of a $1,000 investment. And all you got to do is invest the time. So
yeah, and I love the fact you said it's not spend, you invest. So a lot of us actually think, oh, we're spending it, but you're not. You're going to get a return on that investment.
I can look at everybody's, let's look at everybody's bank statement for the past 6 months, and I guarantee you we will find significantly more than $1,000 on stuff that they spend on BS. Okay, let's be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Truth hurts.
Yep. For sure. So Mary, that's a really good point Freddie made. So when it comes to looking at your business plan, maybe we should consider narrowing the focus, right? Maybe if you had a bigger business plan, let's narrow the focus at this time and focus on winning, right? What's important now? Have you done that? And what are you thinking, Mary, of that you may change and then, based at your quarantine, what are you changing as far as planning or maybe you're going to get the Darren Daily now or whatever? What do you got?
Definitely. I'm getting the Darren Daily. Yes.
Love it.
Absolutely. What I've been focusing on is, it's really hard as an agent to sit in front of your computer all day. Well, guess what? That's what I'm doing right now. So how can I maximize my time? I still come in the office. I still lock my door. I ignore my laundry, ignore my children for at least a few hours now that I'm quarantined, and I still do my work. So just because we're quarantined doesn't mean I don't have a 9-to-5 schedule. So 2 most important things that I really just don't have time to do on a regular workday is number 1, getting reviews. Number 2, working on my CRM. So I do ask for reviews. Every single client, I ask for reviews. When we leave, I just say, I hope you're satisfied with my service as a real estate agent. If it's okay, I'll be sending you an email asking for a review. So the last couple days I went down, I printed out, okay, here are all those who wrote a review for Google. Did they do Zillow? Did they do Facebook yet? And what I'm doing actually to make everybody's life easier, if they posted a Google review and they've liked my Facebook business page, I'll just copy and paste what they posted on Google and say, hey, would you mind going to my Facebook page and just posting, copy and paste what you put on Google on my Facebook page. If they did that for Zillow, I'll do that as well. I'll copy and paste what they posted on Zillow and say, hey, would you mind posting this on my Facebook business page as well? All they have to do is click a link, copy and paste, hit submit. That's it. I'm trying to make their life easier. They don't have to reinvent the wheel. So that's what I've been working on the last couple days. I also really need to go through my CRM. Who has been looking at my website? Coldwell Banker provides us with some great tools. So every time somebody clicks on my website and saves a property, I get a text. So I'm going through that. Typically, I would not be able to do that, but right now I'm able to focus on those who are currently looking online at the latest real estate homes.
Perfect. And you really hit the nail on the head. And that may be one of the nuggets. There's two nuggets, the Darren Daily for sure. But the reviews, I think, are so important. I personally, I mean, this is 17 years for me now. And I personally have not seen anything more effective in obtaining new business than a really good Zillow profile with a lot of reviews and your past sales. So the nugget there may be to focus this week on contacting your past clients, obviously offering any assistance we can. You know, we have a tremendous network of service providers and business owners that we know, and maybe we can offer assistance however we can for sure. But focusing on getting those reviews, updating your past sales on Zillow and Realtor.com or wherever else that any platforms you're using. But from my personal experience, having a very up-to-date Zillow profile generates a lot of business. And there's so many agents out there that don't pay attention to it, for whatever reason. They don't like the Zillow platform. They don't believe in the Zillow platform. Regardless, it generates a lot of business. Am I wrong with that, Mary?
No, absolutely. You are 100% correct. I actually took a course at Raritan Valley Community College, our small community college out here, and it was a small business course. That's what I meant to say. And it spoke a lot about search engine optimization. So, and what helps increase your online visibility. Reviews. So number one thing I'd like to do is make sure that if they took the time to write a review, they're going to be happy enough to share that review on a different platform. One major step in increasing my optimization online was search engine optimization online was actually Google Business, which not a lot of people do. Google Business, everybody Googles, so how are they going to learn about you if you're not on Google? So make sure that you do ask for Google reviews as well.
Perfect.
On that note, when is the best time to ask for a review? I have my own opinion, but I want to know what you guys think. Or I can just talk about my opinion.
That's a great question. I actually work with other mortgage brokers that ask for it before closing. And I tried that, and not to say that that doesn't work, but most of the brokers don't come to the closing with their clients. I am there. So I actually shake their hand them a gift, and say, if you don't mind, I will send you an email later today asking for a review. If you could take a couple minutes, I greatly appreciate that. And they're all very receptive to that.
And everybody has their preferences and does things differently. That's cool. But I always recommend ask for it at closing. After they sign, they're waiting for the title company and mortgage company to do their thing, to fund the loan. And, there's a little bit of downtime there, and everybody's excited, emotions, they're happy. It's like, man, that's the best time to ask for a freaking review, when the emotions are flowing and they're excited and they're happy. Now, we've done a shitty job, obviously you might want to rethink that or kind of do it a different way. But if they're happy, ask for them. And then if you really think about it, there's a little pressure on them for them to leave a good review, because you're right there, So.
Correct. And they're looking at you at that time. They say, yes, I will. So you have their word. Yep. I understand everybody gets busy. Just keep following up. Eventually, they will write you a review.
That's right. Because the further they get away from the fire, and I've learned this in the Insane Productivity, everybody, you're on the campfire singing Kumbaya. The emotions are high. You're pounding your chest and jumping around. Everybody's excited. But then the further people get away from the fire, things just start to fade. So when you're at the closing table, that's when the emotions are high and the excitement is high. So that's the best time, in my opinion, to ask for referral or review, both.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Just, the reviews are just such an important part of the process to generate more revenue and business down the road. And that's amazing. So we initially had a list of about 5 or 6 things that I want to cover, but I think we had so much powerful information between the Darren Daily and really focusing on your mind. The reviews, I think, is just an action step that real estate agents can take right now today. They can get to work and start working on their reviews. Obviously, educating yourself is extremely important, and not just so much in the real estate market. I spent a lot of time the past week and a half learning about investing in the stock market and researching different funds. And just like you mentioned, Freddie, that you paid $2,000 for Darren Daly, I found some of, I think one of the best investment courses, and more, not so much a course, more of a network. And I was willing to pay, I think it was about $1,500, and I was willing to pay right away in that. And just yesterday's trading alone, I made up that difference. So we're in the real estate business, right, Fred? And, obviously all the training that we receive is always real estate this, real estate that, real estate. But I don't believe there's enough personal development training when it comes to, the large brokerages and in the industry itself. As a broker ourselves, we want our agents being successful selling real estate, but we want them to be successful in life, right? So
Absolutely.
I think it's important that not only do we just focus on the real estate investment, but we understand what's going on in the mortgage market. There's a lot of challenges in the mortgage market today with the lack of liquidity in the secondary markets. The stock market, people are panicking and taking money out, which is a really bad idea. But those who are educating themselves in the stock market are actually making money. I mean, we had a tremendous dip, and what a tremendous opportunity to get involved in the market. What else outside of real estate, Freddie, do you think, would you suggest that our viewers and listeners do to just, better themselves overall? Yeah,
it's personal development, man. Look, I have a bachelor's in finance and management and an MBA from the University of Houston. I'm not saying that to brag, because it's in the past. It means nothing to me anymore, honestly. But I can tell you, I have learned so much more since college because I've been researching and studying for myself on my personal development. Guys, go to YouTube. There's a wealth of information for free that you don't have to pay anything, but it costs you your time. And we all know that once time is spent, you lose it forever. It's gone forever. It's like the hourglass, right? Like once this sand goes down, that's it. You're out of time. You cannot get any more time. So when I say it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, but it's not free. It's costing your time. So invest time, your valuable, precious time on getting better. Anybody can learn how to list a house, do reviews, do Facebook. I mean, that is easy. This stuff, helping your brain, it's hard because most people aren't going to invest their time to get better. So the Darren Daily, sign up for it. It's free. The Insane Productivity, now it's $1,000. I paid $2,000. Do that. I paid $10,000 twice for the High Performance Forum for Darren Hardy. I've already made my money back tens of times on that. So don't begrudge the money you invest to better yourself, and invest in the number one asset you have, which is your mind. Mm-hmm. Instead of watching Netflix all day and the news and hearing about the same damn thing 24/7, it's like, man, well, what kind of day do you think you're going to have? You're putting on all this stuff like trash in your mind, your most valuable asset, and you're going to stink it all up. So personal development, man, just do it. Bob Proctor, I'm going to email you some information, Mark, that you can share with everybody. But Bob Proctor, I did an online seminar for 3 days about a month and a half ago. Paid a couple $100 for it. It was a live event in LA, and I couldn't go because it was sold out. But he's replaying it for free. It's 3 days long. Guys, sign up for it. It's free. I paid for it, and you get it for free. You got to invest the time, though. And I can tell you this seminar completely it finally clicked, man, on why I'm messed up and not producing the way I want to produce. And the answer is it's in my own mind. It's in my own habits. Every day, my daily routines. It's like, well, shoot, if my habits are messed up and I really don't have a daily routine, or I'm having negative thoughts, well, I'm going to produce negative results. So it sounds so easy and stuff you guys already know, but I guarantee you will get a lot out of it. So you're going to be home anyway, quarantine. Invest some time and listen to this webinar. It's free for a limited time. So I'll send you that link, Mark, so you can sign up for it and pass on to everybody else.
That makes sense. And, years past, I was an affiliate with Bob Proctor in his company. So I have all of his programs. They're on CDs. We don't obviously listen to CDs anymore, but the personal development was such a huge part of my development, Freddie, for the simple reason that when I commuted to work, it was an hour commute each way. And I could have easily just, listened to music and just chilled out and done whatever. And those CDs were really, I think, a huge part of my development going forward. You know, just an hour to, an hour from, and I was just filling my mind with the right stuff. And today with podcasts and there's
Dude,
so much material out there, it's amazing.
it's valuable time that I have. And trust me, I used to get like pissed off when the people cut me off, but now it's like I just don't care because I'm just so into whatever I'm listening to, and I just do the Bluetooth. I mean, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Darren Hardy. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can just constantly put in your mind instead of all the BS that you hear on the news and Facebook. I mean,
No,
it's refreshing. I feel like a normal human being again.
Oh, that's amazing. So one of the things you kept saying is time is, time is a cost. And Mary, I think we could maybe wrap up with this. Something that you mentioned that jumped out at me is that in the evenings, your mom, right? And in the weekends, your mom, but you're still producing in the top 2 or 3% of agents in your marketplace, right? Who are not shutting it off on the weekends, who are not shutting it off in the evenings because of obligations. So tell us a little bit about the time, because you're doing a lot in less time than a lot of agents are doing in, 40, 60, 80 hours a week, but you're out producing the majority in, just to say 40 hours a week, just to say it. So how do you manage your time and how do you get your personal development in and all of that with your busy schedule?
That's a great question. So I really wish I started this earlier in my career, but it like everything else, it takes a time to figure out a good work schedule. So if I don't have, I really try to take 2 days a week where I do office work because you have to. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm the CEO. I'm also the admin. I mean, I'm also the person who runs around the signs in the lockbox because I am a single individual agent. I take 2 days a week where I try my best. Obviously, there are times where you can't help it, but I try my best where I don't make any appointments. Nope. I block Monday, I block Friday. Those are office days. I try to cram in everything Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But you do need to say, listen, my kids are on the bus at 8:30. I close my door. I don't do laundry. I don't prepare dinner. I don't do anything but real estate until they get off the bus. But even when they get off the bus, I still say, hey, here's your snack, do your homework, and I'm on the phone. So I do still continue to work, but I do shut myself in my office when they're gone. And you do have to. If I don't have any appointments, I still wake up at 6 a.m. I go in the basement. Luckily, I have a gym in my basement. I work out, get my kids up at 7:30, get them on the bus. I'm ready to start my day. So I don't prolong at doing anything, even though I don't have to leave the house.
Perfect.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mary, I just want to say you're a badass because you can have every excuse in the book. Like, oh, I got 4 kids, I got the laundry, I got to cook, I got blah, blah. It's excuses that I hear from people. And I got people that have no kids, single, and all they do is party, and they don't, the results tell the story, all right? I don't need to listen to your excuses. I don't need to listen to your story. Let me see the results, and the results are going to tell what the story is, right? So congratulations, Mary. You're badass, no excuses.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I can tell you this: some of the things that you're telling me, it's taking me back to the Insane Productivity program, and I guarantee you will increase your production by 50% once you go through this. Actually, not once. You'll take lessons that you can apply in your business as you're going, and you're going to notice some. You're going to do some things differently than what you're doing right now. I promise. Which is going to help you do more production in significantly less time.
Well, I'm really hoping that I'm utilizing my time as best as I can, that I cannot leave the house, I cannot show homes, that listings are not going on as frequently as they were, but that's okay. We will pass this, we will be okay, and I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, but you're right. But here's the deal, guys. Just hear me out. Okay, nobody's listing their homes right now. Okay, start planting seeds. You're a farmer, all right? Get all your seeds, get the fertilizer ready, get the water ready, plow, do your plow, like get everything ready so that once this blows over, dude, you're just planting, you're planting crops is what you're doing right now. while
Absolutely.
everybody else is coming up with excuses like, oh my God, the market, like, yeah, like it's the end of the world. Like, okay, well, go ahead and do that. This is the time. Times like this is the time for people like us who are going to do the work and continue going forward and not let circumstances get in our way. We're the ones that are going to get way ahead of the other people that are complaining and crying and doing all that other stuff. They can go ahead and do that. That's why they are 95%. All right. There's a reason why 95% are the 95%. All right. Be part of the top 5%.
That's awesome. And really, this is the perfect place to wrap up is the moral of the story is not to waste this time, right? That was the intention of the video is to, we're quarantined, but don't waste the time. And Mary, you hit a point that I wanted to cover, but we just ran out of time, is that you get up and you exercise, because the fitness is such an important part of this time for us, right? Eat right, work out, and then get to work and produce the results like you mentioned. Guys, we're gonna do this again because I think we can go on for about 2 more hours with this, with the two of you. Amazing job. I wanna thank both of you for coming on and sharing your information, because there's a lot of agents and mortgage brokers that are really stressed out. And I think after they watch this video, we're gonna put their mind at ease and get them refocused on being the best they can be in their business. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.
Appreciate it.
All right.
See you.